All right, we should be recording now. Cool. Lots to talk about today. Lots to go over. So it's been a whirlwind past week and a half here. As everyone knows, I was down in Puerto Rico last weekend, and it seems like it was longer ago, but it was last weekend, and had some really good meetings while there. Yeah, met some pretty important people out there. A lot of the holders, as well as had two private dinners, and they both went very, very well. So we're trying to work out getting some new things underway coming out of that meeting, and just really excited about where that's going. And then directly on the heels of that, Eric and I were in Miami together, and so much happened in Miami. I mean, I have a massive list of stuff, but as you remember, we were invited out there, and I did a speaking engagement, which was a lot bigger than I thought it was going to be. I was expecting to have a speaking engagement with, a group of 50 to 80 people, and it turns out that it was a pretty significant speaking engagement, like in a big auditorium and everything. So we got the voice out there, or spoke about, and got the message out there about Cure today and Cure of the future. And it really resonated. I had several conversations leading up to the event, as well as directly after the event, with people who are extremely interested in our project, and actually some pretty important people. So it was a great time, and that was the reason we went down there. But the stuff that happened there as a result was actually, I think, even more beneficial to our project. So right before the actual speaking engagement, I received a random email from a woman who works at a PR company in New York, and requesting some information and saying, hey, can we get you on the phone with our CEO? We're interested about your project and interested to see how we can help. And I get a lot of emails, as everyone here does. You get a lot of scams and spam and all that kind of stuff. But I did some research on the company, and I responded back that, yeah, let's get on the phone. So we got on the phone, and it turns out that this was, probably one of the most best fit PR companies for us. They work primarily in charitable work and philanthropy, but they also work in crypto. And as you know, we're right in the intersection of that. So this is right in line with their core audiences and their targets. But even more important than that, or I guess more of a way that this really demonstrated how this was a right fit, is that they had ties to cancer in a lot of different ways. Personally, had ties to cancer, and it was great. So turns out as well that one of their people was actually in Miami for the expo. So Eric and I went out to lunch with that individual, Lauren, and had a great lunch. I think it lasted like an hour and 20 minutes, hour and a half. And then probably about 15 minutes after the lunch, I get a call from the CEO of the group, and she says, we're all in. We want to participate. We want to help out. And so things are looking really good there. As far as the name of the company is called Panda PR out of New York. The owner is actually an actress in movies. She's been in several movies. You can Google her and check out their website. But this is big for us. This is going to help us get much more of the mainstream audience to figure out how to get into Cure and figure out how to get our voice out there across all of the media channels that are outside of crypto. So this is a really big deal for us, because as everyone knows, that's our vision for how we're going to grow this even larger, is through outside of the crypto community. Anyway, so more to come on that. But I think we have another conversation coming up on Monday, where we'll work through kind of what the details look like, how we work together. But all in all, this was probably one of the best things that fell on our lap. One of the best things that fell on our lap in Miami, outside of the other 40 dozen things I'm going to rattle off here. But yeah, just definitely one of the best 48-hour trips I think we've had, because it was just packed with so much content, so much meat of things that we can actually start doing and getting some value out of it. Then, as everyone knows, we had an investor dinner on Thursday night with current holders as well as potential holders. And these investor dinners are extremely important to our project. They are putting us in front of some of the most either influential in their industries or powerful people in their industries, and just people who want to get into crypto or may already be, but may not be to the level that we're into crypto. And that's what these are. You know, it's like interfacing with people that we feel are going to help us get to that next level. So we met with, I think it was about 13 different people, a variety of different roles, many of them business owners, many of them first-time investors in crypto. And again, that's the type of audience that's going to create that long-term, I guess, stability for our project, is bringing in long-term investors. So one of them is an owner of a media company, which is for digital media and placement throughout continental U.S. as well as in Puerto Rico. The second is the owner of an airline, sort of an airline company / maintenance parts manufacturing company, a very large company. And both of them were extremely interested in Cure and you know, made commitments that they're going to be buying, which is great to hear. But more importantly, these connections allow us to figure out how we leverage people's you know, their value. You know, and in this case, one being an airline, they talked about wrapping an airplane with the Cure logo and doing a full wrap on it, so that we get some you know, free sort of placements at an airport or airports throughout the U.S. And that's pretty cool. You know, I don't think there's a lot of cryptos out there that have the ability to have a plane wrapped in graphics about their crypto. You know, and the second being a media company, which is obviously right in line with what we need to do. You know, we need people to recognize Cure everywhere. You know, obviously, you know, advertising and marketing within the crypto community is what's going to, you know, keep our chart growing or going sideways, or, you know, keeping it stable. But it's outside of the crypto community that's really going to eventually take off to the point where we get a lot more holders and a lot more long-term holders. And that's the trick. That's the magic sauce of what people don't realize in the crypto space, because the crypto space is very finite. And our value as a project is to be able to go so much further and farther outside of the crypto community. That takes a lot longer to build and develop and get to the point where it's really, you know, powerful and active. But you have to trust me, that's going to be our differentiator. So we're spending some time there, you know, trying to figure out how we do that. You know, the PR company, for example, is a PR company that only works in organic and earned media. And the difference there is a lot of companies or products or projects in the crypto space pay for everything. They pay for their press releases, their article posts, their, you know, podcasts, whatever it is, that's all paid. The difference is we need to get closer onto the spectrum of earned and organic, which means that people are coming to us and interviewing us and offering up articles within, you know, magazines or news interviews on TV. That's the type of stuff that a lot of crypto projects can never get, and that's what we're going to get a lot of. And that's as I said, that's a big value to any project. So that's all happening and underway. But when that stuff really does kick in, we're going to see a pretty significant uptick in our project. So then also in Miami, you know, we had the investor dinner. We talked about wrapping the plane. We talked about more media coverage on you know, billboards and college campuses at no cost, because this is all would be done by investors. So that's awesome. But the other last bit about that trip is that we did have a conference call with the NASCAR team, and they did send us the proposal for the 2022 season, and we made a commitment. So we're on board now for next year, and there's a lot of details to come on this, and a lot more exciting news to come on this. But the first drip of news that I can provide is that we're doing a full year campaign with them. We are going to be on all of their digital properties, which means on their website, their mobile app, their NASCAR TV, digital content. And we're going to have advertisements and takeovers and cars racing across the screen. It's going to be pretty crazy. Throughout the entire year, it will be a 50%. And then for the month of February and March, it will be a 100% takeover. So every time somebody visits one of their digital properties, they're going to see Cure, and that's a massive opportunity for us right there. And I want to talk about how we capitalize on that in a minute here, but that's a massive opportunity. The second piece of that is that in September, which is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, they are also going to have us do a takeover, and at that point we will be swapping with, or maybe it's inverse, we'll be swapping with Coca-Cola as the other brand. So it'll be Coca-Cola advertisements and Cure advertisements. So we're going to be right up there with one of the biggest brands in the world on one of the best branded sites in the world for an audience, and it's going to be great. It's going to be a year-long engagement, the entire season. The bigger news is that we are securing a team. So we will have an actual race car with the Cure graphics all over it, race team and all of that. And we're working through which exact race or races we want to do for the season. And we're just working through those details. But this is really big for us, for any project, to have this ability to be able to tap into. So it's like, all I can say is this is going to do a lot for us. So exciting stuff around NASCAR, and there'll be a lot more details coming up as they get solidified. But that's what I'll share for now. So as you can tell, lots been going on there. So that's Miami. There's been a ton of conversations. I mean, I know people don't even realize all the stuff that happens and how long these things take. But there have been nonstop conversations with exchanges and staking and pools and all of that. I mean, as everyone knows, that's my number one priority, is to get us listed on the right exchange and to get staking in place. And I'll talk more about this later, but that is my number one priority. Some of the background noise going on. Does anyone hear that? Maybe I need if you hear it again, let me know and I'll mute the individual, or just make sure you mute. So I'll talk more about exchanges and staking here in a second. But let's move on to a couple other things, some housekeeping. So we did run a promotion for the NASCAR skin concept, just conceptual, and did award that winner last week. We also have an ongoing promotion for NFTs. And this is a really important step for a project, to be able to mint NFTs. And I'll explain why in a second. But that promotion is being extended a little bit. We want to make sure that we get all of the entries that we can, so that we have a lot of content to choose from. And then we'll do a community vote on which ones we want to mint initially. We are working through a couple things on this. So how do we want to mint these? What is the path? Is it going to be randomly generated for some of them, and you can get some that are very rare, or some that are very exclusive or high value, or other? So we're working through the logistics of how the delivery of these will work while the promotion is going on. So when the promotion ends and we're ready to proceed with the NFTs, we have the mechanism in place to distribute them. That's leading to an NFT marketplace. So we are going to be building an NFT marketplace very, very shortly here. That's also on the technology side of things, that is our number one priority, is getting an NFT marketplace in place. The value of that to our project, and I don't think people realize the value of this, but the value of this is every time somebody buys one of the NFTs, that the purchase price in BNB will go directly into our contract. So that just builds our chart. And NFTs can't be destroyed. So it's not like that NFT could be removed from our chart or liquidity. So this is a way of building liquidity smartly, but also a way to create value for the people who buy them, so that these will go up in price. And it's a pretty cool concept. So we're working through the I guess the technology aspect of it. We're working through the graphics side of it through the contest, and then we're going to have it all come together into a vote where we'll pick them and then I guess distribute them through our new marketplace, which is very shortly here on the horizon, very shortly. Oh boy, all right. So I'm going to pause there a second while I go through my notes here. The other thing some people may have seen is that we do have some new merchandise. We have stickers, which you may have seen all over Twitter here and there. Let me tell you how cool it is to be able to like walk through Miami and see one of our stickers somewhere. That's pretty cool. So, but anyway, so there will be stickers, pins, magnets, coasters, all that kind of stuff available alongside what we currently have on our website for merchandise. I want to get these out to the community, you know, and so much so as there will be free product available up there, so you won't have to pay for some of it, and just to get it out there. And the idea is if you want more, you know, we can get a lot more of this stuff made, but we really need to get our image and our likeness and our, you know, our logo out all over the place, so people start visualizing it in their day-to-day lives. So I will get those posted and send out the details about that extension to the merchandise page as soon as it gets up there. But it's not the highest thing on my priority list, but it is fairly high. I do want to get that out there. Also, while in Miami, we came across a very talented and well-known artist in the crypto community who does paintings, you know, oil canvases and things like that. I'm going to drop his website in here for everyone to see. Let me see if I can find it. Let's see. I'll drop it in the main chat here, or if anyone else has it, because I've not seen it. Let me see. No, I'm not seeing it jumping out at me right now because I'm in the wrong spot.
I'll grab it, Jake. I'll grab it, mate. You carry on.
Oh, I actually just found it. So, but here, I'll drop in the URL and take a look at the artist. What we're going to be doing is we are commissioning a painting for Cure. These paintings sell for a lot of money, and they're just great in general. They're just very well done, great inspiration. But he loved our project, and he loved our logo, and he loved what we're doing. So we've commissioned one through him at least, and that will be available to the community. Really, really important guy here. His paintings sell for multiple Bitcoin. I mean, so they're not cheap paintings. And so anyway, so we'll do an auction for this when it gets completed. Yeah, but I'm really excited to see where his brain takes this and takes our image and our project. But very excited about that. So that is something that's underway as well. Moving back to my short list here. Let's talk about the new technology development that's coming up. One of the, and what I'm talking about here is the future NFT research highway, and that work that goes into that in order to finish, you know, our concept and bring it to life. Because again, that is where a lot of value to all of the shareholders is going to come from, is specifically that. The new PR company has a lot of connections in this sector of blockchain, in healthcare, in research, in data, and we're going to be collaborating with a variety of pretty big name people on this. So we have yet to get introduced to them, but these are the people that are already, you know, kind of paving the road for progress within blockchain. And you know, and once you layer on research, which that's going to be our angle. Once we layer on the NFT, which is our angle as well, I mean, this is going to get pretty exciting pretty fast on that front. So anyway, so there's a lot of movement on that side of things as well. As a reminder as well, I also have an interview scheduled, TV interview with Molusco TV, which is going to be in Puerto Rico on November 26th. This is also a big thing for us. For those of you not from Puerto Rico, this is a a pretty big named individual in the social atmosphere and culture within not just Puerto Rico, but all of Latin America. So we got an interview coming up there, and that will be kind of a megaphone for all of the work we're doing down there. So, but very cool thing that's getting scheduled, and that's going to be happening. All right, so just lots of news here. I really got to take a few breaths here, or else I'm going to pass out. So I mentioned we're doing plane wrap. That's going to be cool. A big gigantic plane wrapped in cure. We also had somebody reach out overnight about donating and wrapping a motorcycle, a Harley Davidson, for us, and this is awesome. So it's a very cool looking bike. It's being collaborated on and donated to Cure, to the project, and we're going to wrap it in Cure color scheme, and then raffle it off to the community. So anyone who belongs to the community or belongs to Cure Token is going to be able to opt into the raffle and hopefully win it. And then we got to figure out delivery. So hopefully if you do win it, it'll go to a good home. Just to give you an idea of the value of the motorcycle, it is valued at $75,000 US. So this is not a small prize. This is a pretty significant prize in motorcycle, and that's cool. So somebody will be riding around on a Cure motorcycle. So enjoy that one if you win it, and it'll be a great way to advertise, but as well a great way to reward somebody who wins. So that's coming up here shortly. Lots of movement on that front. All right, moving on. There's a lot going on today. Going through my list here. All right, we are also going to be starting, if you remember, we had Twitter promotions going on. I think we didn't do one this past week, but the 2 weeks prior we did. And this was promotions for people to share Cure over Twitter and then tag people. Those were very effective, and really just in general, really good for the project. So we're going to be doing one of those again this week, changing things up a bit. I think the last one we did was a $300. Yeah, it was $300 to 3 people. This time, I think what we're going to do is something like $50 a day to the best within that 24-hour period, and keep it going throughout the week. But I got to get that launched. Working with our internal team here to get that messaging done, the logistics of it, and then we'll get that activated. But that was in the past; those were very, very successful for us. So then we get to the next topic, which is around AMAs. The marketing team is lining up 7 AMAs over the next, I think, week to 12 days. And these are all video AMAs, every one of them. I think what we've discovered is that the text-based AMAs that we've been participating in, although everyone says text-based is the best, they are really not. I mean, there is one that we're doing, which is text-based, but that's because it's a very reputable group, and it's called London Crypto. So very reputable, but they're not doxed. They don't do video, and it will be one of the only ones that's text-based. But we're doing video because that's what resonates with people, is when we can share the project and people can hear about it. They can see me. They can see my passion for what we're doing. I think that's what's really helping our project. So we're going to be doing many less text-based and almost entirely and exclusively video-based. But yeah, I think there's 7 of those coming up, and we're working through schedules right now to get all of those coordinated. Yeah, those are going to be good, very good for us. So I'm going to pause there again, and let me just get through my notes, make sure I didn't miss anything. Oh, here's a bullet point. Last week, I think it was actually this week. I think it was Tuesday. Yeah, it was Tuesday, Wednesday morning. We finally got a few of the big whales out of the project, and it was perfect timing for that. There's still I think a few out there, but things are starting to really stabilize. We're starting to get to the point where there's consolidation happening, where the chart is going sideways, and that's all really good stuff. And with the amounts of marketing that we have underway and the amounts of big investors that are coming into our project, we are in a really good position, actually exceptional position for growth. So very excited about where that's moving and where that's going. But it was great to have, I think it was 4 of them that exited, and we're slowly eating away over time, and not entirely all gone, but we're getting really close on that. So let me see what else here. We got AMAs. We're doing our traditional Reddit posts on a very regular basis. We're doing our traditional press releases on a regular basis, two times a week. We are continuing all of our Schiller campaigns across Telegram and Twitter, as they have been. That team has been running crazy. I think in the past couple, maybe even a day, they had over 5,000 screenshots that they shared with me of different places where they had put our name. And it's those types of things that are really, getting our word out there, and people are hearing about Cure. And what's exciting to me, even, the most exciting, is that it's not just in that crypto community. It truly is, walking down the street, or getting a random email. People are finding out about us organically now, and that's exciting. That's no longer forced and paid and in the crypto space, but now it's actually outside. And as I keep saying, I mean, that's really how this project is just going to ramp up to that next level in the best way possible. Yeah. So, what's that? Okay. So, part of, there's two points I want to make here real quick. There's things that enable growth in a project, and there's things that create, stall, that make a project stall. And then you throw money at it, marketing dollars, in order to scale it. One of the things that people don't realize, and I know we have 67 people here in this community, maybe only a couple realize this, is that when you have whales in a project that are exiting, the key there is that you want to stabilize the chart. You don't want to go over the top on announcing big marketing initiatives or big collaborations or very large partnerships during that point. You want to wait until those whales have exited, and that's where we're at right now. Is there's some big announcements that have, obviously, some that you've been hearing about, like NASCAR, and we got that CertIC audit, which is done, and that's out of the way. But really the big marketing push is going to start when the chart has been fully stabilized, which I think we're really close to doing, very close to doing. And that's when that's when that'll take off. Is the last thing you want to do is throw a significant amount of money into marketing while people are exiting. Counterproductive. You're really just, kind of not spending your dollar wisely. The key there is that you want to spend a lot of money when your chart is going upward, and when you're getting those big spikes. That's when you spend a significant amount of money. So it's just perfect timing. I mean, everything is just coming together at the right time, all over the place, and we should see really significant marketing push happening here very shortly. I think my guess is it's probably in the next couple of days here, and I know for the next week it's going to be great. There's just so much happening, and this comes down to podcasts being released. We have a BSC News podcast coming out. We have the Oncology podcast coming out. We have Cointelegraph things that are happening, and we have BSC News things that are happening. And there's a lot of stuff that's out there that's now at the point of hitting, and that's going to just move us along pretty quick. We're also talking about doing Twitter Spaces. So we're going to be alternating between video AMAs within our group, and then also moving into Twitter Spaces. And if you haven't been to a Twitter Space, it's voice only, but it's not just an AMA. I mean, it's more of a conversation. So people hopefully will participate. Usually in these AMAs, I guess I ramble so much or talk so much. By the time we get to the end of it, there's not a lot of questions. The purpose of the Twitter AMAs is that it's a conversation with everybody talking together, and it's it's a great opportunity as well to share information. Our next one will be Wednesday, or our first one actually will be Wednesday, and it's a different type of format. There will be additional news announced in that AMA or Twitter Space meeting spot. So make sure you join that. We'll do a good job of promoting it and hopefully get a lot of people outside of our community who aren't in Telegram to participate as well. And also maybe we'll get some guest appearances of some people from other projects or influencers and ambassadors. So look forward to that on Wednesday. The last topic I have here is I wanted to regroup on exchanges and staking. I get hundreds of DMs each day from community members, from exchanges, from just people who are trying to help push this along, as well as people that want us to get listed. We've made the decision, and this is a hard and fast decision, that we are not going to go to an exchange just to go to an exchange. And what I mean by that is there are some really bad exchanges out there that just don't have audiences, they don't have volume, they just don't have a reputation, and we are not going to do that. We are purposely looking for the perfect exchange for us. We've had, I can't tell you how many hours of conversation each day I have on the topic of exchanges and staking. It is my number one priority. It has been for weeks. And this is across the board. I mean, this is all the way going to tier 1. It's going into the crypto tier 1. It's going into tier 2. It's just an immense amount of time that's being spent here. So that's on the exchanging front as well as on the staking side of things. We also have made a lot of progress as far as knowing which exchanges are not right for us. So for example, we've had, conversations with so many. I mean, I can't even list them all. But dozens of exchanges I've had conversations with, staking pools I've had lots of conversations with. It turns out that our volume needs to be at a certain point, which it's not today, for some of these exchanges to even want to listen to us. So we've heard back from a couple, and the response was not no, it was not now. You guys need to get your volume up. The project is perfect. The foundation for it is good. Everything is in order as far as the ratios, the wallets, the audits, the legal side of things. Everything is in order. We got to get our volume up. That is our next challenge. And the way we're going to get our volume up is continuing with what we're doing, but also amplifying our marketing. We have to get trending on CoinMarketCap. Again, we have to get trending on DEX tools. These are the ways that within the crypto community people find out about your project. So those are the things that marketing team, myself, that's what we're focused on, is how do we amplify this to increase our volume in order to have stability in our volume, in order for that not now response to become, yes, we're ready. And there's just a lot out there. We have, I mentioned KuCoin was, that's the one I really wanted to get listed on. And their response was not now. But they did say everything is in order. We just need to solve that volume, daily volume issue, and we will. And so I know it's going to happen inevitably. The other ones that we are knocking on every door and having tons of conversations with are Gate.io, Bitfinex, among others. Like Bitcoin.com as well is another. And these are legitimate, real exchanges that we're having real authentic conversations with. I mean, we're actually talking to them. We're actually interfacing with them, walking through our project, walking through where we're at with things. And it's a process. There's this people believe that the projects move real fast. We're moving fast, but exchanges don't move fast. That's the slow piece, is we need to go through their process and at their pace. And we're not wasting any time on this. We have zero lag in response, zero lag in our ability to provide them with any information or data, documents that they need. Because this is our, as I said, number one priority. But it will happen. We will get listed on an exchange. But just want to say it again, we're not going to go with Joe Bob's exchange. We're going for a real legitimate exchange that's going to be of value to our project and not hurt it. So that's why it's important that we, continue down this road. And I think it requires a little bit of patience. I'm not saying patience from myself, because I'm not being patient. I am very, very aggressive, as is the rest of the team working on this, but patient from a community perspective. This takes time, but when it happens, it's going to be the right move for the project at the right time. Yeah. So let me see what else. We were also chasing Pancake Swap. Excuse me. Just about to sneeze there, thankfully. There we go. No sneeze. But we're chasing Pancake Swap for Sierra Pools and farming. And we received the same responses we did from KuCoin. Project is great. They loved the project. And I mean, just love it. They love the name. They love what it stands for. They love the brand. They love that we've done all of our audits already, that we've done our legal side of things, that we have our financials in order. I mean, they absolutely love the project. And unfortunately, same response. It comes down to volume. That needs to be our priority, is how do we increase our volume on a daily basis to get us over $1 million in volume every single day. And that's what the marketing team's working on, the ops team, myself. Those are the objectives and goals that we need to strive for. And we have tactics underway and tactics that have already been deployed in order to help us get there. But that's our milestone. We have to do that in order to get this to that next level. But there's a lot of stuff underway that's going to get us there. But that will take some time for us to get that sustainable. But that's the barrier. That's what we need to do. I mean, not just on the legal side, we've got, NDAs that we've had to do, and anyway, lots of stuff. So, one of the tactics that I mentioned earlier, the NFTs, the NFT marketplace, that's the tactic, one of the, not the only and exclusive, but it's one of the tactics that we're going to deploy to build up our volume. I'm really excited about the NFTs that we've received so far, and how this is going to amplify our project. And it's going to be things like this, like the NFTs and NFT marketplace, that's going to help this. And that's one, as I said, one of the tactics among others. So lots of stuff happening there. And from, as I mentioned, from a tech perspective, that's our number one priority. So keep that in mind. But we're moving along, and I believe at a very good pace, and we're still moving in the right direction. We're amplifying, our marketing in and outside of crypto. And you're going to see a lot more of us outside of crypto here shortly. We're building some new technology with the marketplace and NFTs, and we're doing a lot of promotions and contests. I mean, we're doing a lot of the sponsorships like NASCAR and others that I'll announce here soon. But these are big things for a project of our size. I mean, I don't know what our date is, but we're probably under 50 days old. And I mean, we're talking about some really big stuff, and we're making some really big moves. The absolute biggest barrier for us right now is that our token is not easy to buy. And it's not easy to buy on PancakeSwap. People don't get it outside of this group or crypto. That's our barrier. The moment we can overcome that hurdle, the growth is going to be significant, very significant. So that's why, as you can tell from all of this, our priorities all ladder up to that objective. Get listed on an exchange, get the volume up, get listed on exchange, go organic with our media, and all of that is speaking to the idea of getting more people out there and get them into our community and making this easier to buy at the end of the day. So, but that's I believe that's majority of what I had outlined for today's AMA. But I'm going to open it up there and pause for the next 15 minutes or so, and just turn it over and see if anyone has any other news that I may have neglected, because I'm sure I do that all the time. Or if anyone has any questions about anything I may have covered off on, or anything that they want to hear more about. Now is the time to bring that up, and let's talk about it as a team and a group here. So does anyone have anything I neglected or any questions? I think, and I'm actually not surprised, because it doesn't seem like anyone ever has any questions, but if you do, type them in the chat and speak up.
Was Molusco the 26th?
Yeah, 26th of November, yes.
Yeah, it cut off. Somebody thought it was the 22nd. I just wanted to confirm. Yeah,
26th. So it's actually in the US, it is the day after Thanksgiving. So I will, and this is an in-person interview. So unfortunately, I have to do a very quick trip, fly in the morning and fly out right after the interview. But it'd be really good for us. So I don't know how long it will take from the moment the interview happens to when that actually gets broadcast across all the platforms. But I imagine it would be pretty quick, if not real time. I don't know. And
no questions on my end, JP.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, Majestic, how's it going?
Going good.
Yeah, Majestic. How you doing?
Cool. Good.
Doing great.
Yeah, I'm going through the chat here. Is there anything I'm missing in the chat as far as questions or comments?
Jacob, when is the NASCAR season starting?
It starts in February. Let me get up the calendar and I'll drop it in for everyone.
Okay, thanks.
Let me see. Yeah, this is really cool. I mean, for those of you outside of the U.S. who may not realize the value of NASCAR, this is a really big deal in the U.S. Here it is. I'll drop it in.
Hey, Jacob, there was a question actually on the cross-chain integration, when that would occur.
Cross-chain over to Ethereum.
I think so. They said, I think it's part of our roadmap. I believe they're speaking about Ethereum.
At one point, we've discussed that being a possibility. We haven't rated that very high on our priority list of even exploration at this point, because we are so focused on staking and exchanges. That is, as I said, that is our absolute number one priority. And we have tons of people working on it. I'm glad Majestic joined, because he's also one of the people working on this and trying to connect us with other influencers and other projects in the space. And he's done a great job so far of connecting us with the right people. Now we're just working through and navigating the process. But yeah, really, really cool stuff. Yeah, so cross-chain, yeah, I see that just got mentioned again. Yeah, so Suhaib, yeah, we are booking AMAs. I think there's 7 coming up, all video-based. And yeah. Hey, Majestic, do you have a minute to tell us about what's been going out there in Senegal? Are you still on?
Yes, sir. So yeah, so everything went well this week when it comes to the donation. So I went to the hospital here that takes care of pediatric cancer. The name of the hospital is Dantec. So upon doing the donation and inviting the TV stations and doing a little interview, a lot of people reached out to me throughout the country, just sharing their stories regarding pediatric cancer. And actually, a few parents told me that they lost their child to pediatric cancer. So Gear Token really making that donation is making a big impact in Senegal. And everybody's just supporting the whole initiative, and they just want to push things forward. So I've spoken to the lead doctor for pediatric cancer in Dantec, and she told me that whenever she needs more help, she'll let me know. And most of the time they need hospital beds, medication. They actually send us a list of medication that I share with Jacob. So yeah, it's just they just need help, because the government here don't have the resources to help the kids that have cancer. And I actually connected Jacob with my cousin. She has her own foundation, and she's been helping that hospital since 2012. And a few other foundations help that hospital also, but it's never enough. It's never enough. They
Majestic, I'm glad you brought that up. I said this weeks ago, early on, but that, the foundational work, the actual charity work is how we're also going to scale this project and get the word out there bigger and broader. And that's going to be through partnerships with other foundations all throughout the world. And I'm glad you brought that up, because that's an important part of this. Because when we tap into other foundations and we start connecting them and supporting other great work throughout the world, we also gain access to their communities, which is an important part of this process. Is we need to get people to be aware of Cure and the good work that Cure is doing, and that will translate to to the chart somehow. It'll eventually translate. And more importantly than that, we're actually going to be doing so much good as a result. And that's what's at the end of the day, that's what motivates me. That's what drives me is, I want to make this a massive success, because I know on the backside of that, we're going to be able to help so many people throughout the world and just everywhere. And I'm glad that we were able to help Majestic in Senegal. And I hope we can help a lot of others and continue to help them, but I hope that we can help a lot of others throughout the world as well. I've had a lot of conversations this past week, which I neglected to even mention this, but I've had a lot of conversations with research labs, with doctors. I got another one coming up with a group in Dominican Republic. So see what we can do there. There's another conversation taking place in Puerto Rico. There's another conversation taking place in the U.S. market here in Chicago. I mean, there's a lot of conversations happening on that side of the stuff of the spectrum. So it's important that we don't lose sight of that, because at the end of the day, that's the value that we're really doing here. We're all trying to make money. We're all trying to get to stair step up over to the next level, but don't lose sight of what we're accomplishing. It's a significant amount of things that we've been able to do, and we're going to continue to do.
So Jacob, also for next week, I have a trip planned for Gambia. Gambia is a country that's within Senegal, and it's an English-speaking country. So I think we can do good things over there. So next week, the whole goal is to make a donation there to help the kids. So I'll keep everybody updated on that.
That's awesome. Yeah, we see you got some shirts. That's cool.
Yes, they're beautiful. I mean, everybody keep asking me about the t-shirts. They just want to order them, and I like to direct them to the website. So
yeah, so that's great. We should. I know the website is struggling right now because I think it's U.S. based, but we want to open up a segment for international purchases. That's something we'll get on the roadmap as well, to make it really easy for people overseas to buy stuff, because it'll be obviously different price points as well. So look forward to that. But yeah, so much going on. I think you can see from the list, the exhaustive list here, there's a lot going on. I'll make a point here. I'm seeing in the group chat about something here. People who buy in the U.S. and try to buy B&B are very limited on the options that they have. And some states in the U.S. don't even allow you to buy it. So for example, Texas is one. There's some ways around it. So when you educate people outside of the crypto space, like how do you buy Cure? One of the easiest ways to get to BNB is first off through Trust Wallet, and you can go to Smart Chain. You can click buy. You can either use Simplex or MoonPay. The challenge there is that it doesn't always work. It doesn't work with every bank, and it absolutely does not work with credit cards. So you're very limited. The next best option is Binance US. Make sure it's the US version of Binance. But the challenge there is that it's not always accessible in every state. And the second thing is that they hold your funds for 10 days. And a lot can happen to a chart in 10 days. So you don't want to be doing that. The third way that a lot of people have been recommending is that they go through crypto.com. Here in the US, that seems to be the easiest way to acquire Binance Smart Chain, BNB. And it seems to be instantaneous. They seem to allow credit cards and debit cards. And then once you get it there, you would just transfer it over to your Trust Wallet or MetaMask, and then go to PancakeSwap. So that's definitely probably the best recommendation I can make for getting it easier. We are working on producing a series of videos for the community on how to buy, because I tell you, that's part of my DMs and emails is all day long. I get people asking me how they buy, and we need to solve that problem, because there's a lot of people who want to and just can't, and then give up or other. But I don't want to miss out on any opportunity. So I want to make sure we put a lot of effort behind getting these videos produced for different regions. So if you're in the US, this is how you could do it. Here are your options. If you're in Europe, this is how you would do it. Or if you're in Africa, this is how you would do it. I mean, it's different everywhere. So let's I know the marketing team is working through that, but let's get some more effort behind that.
Buddy, how you doing, huh?
Hey Deuce, how's it going?
Good.
Good. Well, welcome to the AMA. All right. Am I missing any other chats here? Yeah, I see Best Way Crypto. Yeah, that's cool. Oh, yeah, another good point here. I just saw something came up from Freddie. Good idea, Freddie, tagging me, because that's one way I'll see it. So There was a mere group of Cure that was launched in, I think, October, or maybe even earlier. And what they had done is taken every single person and invited them to it, inclusive of myself and everyone else. I think they even had some of our admins up there as fake people, and trying to get people to connect their wallets, sign up for a fake promotion. Make sure that you only get your news from our announcement channel or from this specific Telegram group. Anything outside of this, or our official Twitter, anything outside of those or our official social outlets, be careful. There was a story, I'm not sure how much people are aware of last week's, earlier in this week, what happened to our chart. But turns out that someone unfortunately connected their wallet to a spam site, where that spam site took all of their tokens and then immediately dumped on the chart. And it was a significant dump. I think you saw that on Tuesday. Everyone woke up Tuesday morning to find that. That is why you need to protect your wallets. Be careful where you attach them. Be careful. Don't ever give your private keys to anyone. Number one rule in crypto. But secondly, always make sure when you connect your wallet, it's a reputable site, that it's a real site. And if you have questions about that, reach out to our community members and admins, because we'll let people know and we'll help. But we really can't see that happen. Our project's in its infancy stage. And if we get a massive dump like that, it hurts. It hurts the project. It hurts the marketing. We're spending a lot of money on marketing. And people come to our project and find a big dump on a chart, they're not going to buy. And we just wasted those marketing dollars. So it's super important for the project that we protect our keys, protect our wallets, be smart about what sites you're engaging with in crypto in general. But just keep that in mind and do your best to be responsible in that area. So let me see if I'm missing anything else here. Bestwaycrypto.com. I see Suhaibi's got a ton of stuff here. I can't really read your questions. Let me see. Pause here. I see Eric's responding, so that's good. And awesome. Well, are there any other questions that anyone has, or any other ideas of new tactics or new things we should be doing? You know, obviously the chat's a great place to share those things, but now's the opportunity. If you have questions for myself or the team, you know, now's the time to speak up. And otherwise, let me see if I missed anything here. Nice. I say otherwise then, you know, thank you everyone for attending another AMA. And as I said, we're going to have a Twitter Space AMA on Wednesday night. Majestic, hope to see you there. Hopefully you can make it. And we're going to make this one a good one. We're going to try to invite some other people that I've been speaking with in other Twitter Spaces and see if they would be kind enough to join us for ours and create some conversation. So it's going to be much less of me talking about AMA, and it's going to be much more about community talking about Cure. And Majestic, that's our next task, is to schedule that and get that working. But one more second before I break here. I want to make sure I don't miss anything else. Yeah, good point about disconnecting wallets. That's super important. People go and connect wallets all the time, and then they don't disconnect them. Make sure you disconnect them. Go into your wallet, and you can see all of the sites you've ever connected to, and just delete, delete, delete. Be protective of this. The value is a lot, and the value is going to be getting greater, and people are going to be trying to mimic our project as they do with all other projects. So be really, really safe where you connect your wallets. All right, and I guess I have one last call to action to everyone before I go. I mentioned the videos. If you are interested in helping with how-to videos, I don't care how they're made. They could be PowerPoints and screen recorded. I don't care how we do them. But we need help on that. The more content we can get on how to buy, the better, because we got a lot of people who need this content, and we don't have enough people to walk people through the process. So if you want to volunteer for that, or if you have ideas, reach out to the community in the Telegram, reach out to any of the admins or moderators or myself, and that will be a huge help for this next week, is to get those solidified and nailed down. But
Hey,
awesome.
Jacob,
That's it. That's all I got. Go ahead.
I think I'll be making a video just to show people how to get a Cure token on a Pancake Swap.
Oh, that's awesome, Majestic. That'd be awesome. Yeah, I've seen some really good ones out there too. Some projects are doing some nice ones. So that is awesome. Anything else before we break? Any other thoughts or ideas or questions or topics, or anyone have any good jokes? Anything? All right. I love how this community is so quiet all the time.
Any good jokes? No jokes, but you looking good though.
Oh, yeah. I'm really tired from all the traveling, but things are moving along. I hope you all feel the pace that we're moving at. I mean, this project is moving at a real fast pace, and we're not sitting behind the curtains doing nothing. And there's a lot of stuff going on, and yeah, I'm just super excited about all of it. I'm super excited about NASCAR, and that was a big deal. But everything's moving along great. Everything's going in the right direction. Be patient on the chart. Things will go big again. They absolutely will, and not at all worried about it. So just stick around, preach. What we're working on here. Let's get some more people in. Let's build an NFT marketplace. Let's take this thing to the next level. It's going to happen from all of us. So again, good night, everyone. Thank you for joining. Thank you for all of your support on the project. Thank you for believing in Cure and the potential of what we're going to achieve here. And that's it. I'm just so grateful and thankful to everyone for attending and all of your time. So reach out if you have any further questions. But thank you, everyone. Good night, and I'll see you all this week. Bye.
Take care, Jacob. Thank you. Good night.
Night.